Boom, boom, boom. We live.
What's going on, man? What's going
Good,
on?
good, man. Not much. Hey, I was just gonna ask you. I've never asked you this question. Where'd the name Famous Baby come from?
Ooh, famous baby. Well, so in my rapping days,
Okay.
in my rapping days, man, yeah, we used to go out and people used to always speak, and I think this girl started it. She said, "Are you famous, huh? You famous, baby, huh?" And then my dude looked at me like, yeah, that's your rap name now. So just kind of took off from there. I just took it and ran with it.
How long ago was that?
Ooh, 2007, 8.
Isn't that wild? That was like 15 years ago.
Oh man,
That's nuts, man.
long time, man. Yeah, yeah. How you doing though? How you doing?
I'm
You
good.
all
Hey,
good?
yeah, thank you for coming on. I told you I'd have this for you.
See, I feel like I'm slipping now.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm good, man. The family just went out. We had to do some grocery shopping today, but I'm here. I'm settled, calm. I'm excited to talk some fights with you, though.
I'm gonna ask you a question. You
Okay.
got some, you got some ink, don't you? You got some new ink?
I did. I got my forearm here. It's a lamp. Um, so it's a Bible verse that says, what is it off the top of my head? It's a Bible verse basically, and it says, my God lights my lamp, or God lights my lamp. My Lord turns darkness into light. So I got that right here, and then
I like it.
I got a little carnation
Uh-oh.
flower there for my friend.
Did that hurt?
No, it was high enough on the like if it was lower on the neck, yeah, but it's more like behind the ear.
Nice, nice, nice.
Uh,
Okay, okay.
yeah, so I
Yeah.
got that the other day when I was in Minnesota. Now I'm back. I'm here,
You
and
back in Indy. Glad to have you
yeah,
back.
man. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. I'll be at the gym this weekend though, so got to get back
I've
to
been
it.
I've been holding it down for you. Don't worry about
Okay, yeah, you've been going evening time, right?
Yeah, yeah, evening, yeah. Shout out to Yorman, shout out to Damien, shout out to Coach Pat.
We have a legit gym. Like
We got a legit gym
do some
through this.
serious experience competition.
It's
Um,
tough. It's
That's
tough.
tough. And Coach Pat's what's up? Norman and I were talking about that, or me and anybody. And you know how it is at the gym. Coach Pat's, he's the man.
I got a whiff of Coach Pat yesterday when I went.
Yeah, you mentioned he. So is he teaching? Did he teach the beginning of the class, and then Yorman took over?
Well, Yorman was teaching, and Coach Pat, he'll kind of come in and correct those mistakes in this
Yeah,
Coach Pat fashion.
yeah. He's. I think one time he pulled me aside because I had a sauna suit on. He pulled me aside and said, like, take that off right now and go get some water. I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm taking it off because he's not a fan of when
Oh, the
people
sauna
wear them.
suits, really?
No, I mean, I think they're good for um, like warm ups. You know what I mean? Like wearing it for the
Mm-hmm.
whole workout could be a lot.
That's tough. That's
You know
tough.
what I mean? So,
Mm.
but no, he's a real deal, man. He's legit. So, when did you like? What was it that really started getting you into the sport of boxing? Because I've labeled you and I told you this as like a expert enthusiast of the sport of boxing. Like your knowledge, you're an encyclopedia.
Wow, that's a compliment. That's a lot of weight. That's a lot of
Don't let
weight.
me
A lot of
down, man.
weight.
Don't let me down.
A lot of weight. I know it's a lot of weight. Let me see, man. I started watching boxing. Um, from what I can remember, the Tyson days.
Okay.
That's when I started watching boxing, but I still didn't know what I was watching.
Is it
You
like
know,
90s or late 80s?
probably early 90s.
Okay,
Early 90s.
that's when he's on tear. That's when
That's
Tyson was nice.
prime Tyson,
Yeah.
yeah. But I didn't know what I was looking at though. I was just watching boxing. I was just watching two dudes fight. I didn't know what I was watching. So I think I started knowing what I was watching maybe in the De La Hoya, Trinidad, Bernard Hopkins. those days. I kind of started knowing a little bit more of the technique,
Yeah.
start understanding it more, you know. Um, but then after that, after that era, you probably had we had the heavyweights came pretty heavy after that. You had Klitschko, Lennox. Um, you had those guys come after that. So I started paying a little bit more attention to the technique around
Okay.
that time.
Right. Yeah, mine was I was a little bit older. It was a kid I grew up with right across, he was a block away. Um, him and his brothers would go to the armory all the time in St. Paul, Minnesota. They would have fights all the time. And then
Mm-hmm.
they would order the fights. I'd come over a couple times, but it was when we were much younger and we would play Knockout Kings 2000 on
Oh
on
yeah,
the Nintendo, like
yeah,
way back in the day. And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
we were just late nights playing games. And then I was like, oh man, like I've heard of this person before or something like that because they had a setup in their basement. They had a couple heavy bags, a double end bag, a speed bag. Um, and it was just a smaller, classic like house in the city. And
Hmm.
there was probably like two light bulbs down there, maybe one. So it just felt like old rustic gyms. But that's what they did all the time. And then I just kind of became attached to it from
Hmm.
there.
Hmm.
That was back in, mid to late 90s, I would say.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yep, yep. So towards the end of like prime, I don't want to say the end of prime Tyson, but like, I didn't really watch Tyson live when he was the monster that he obviously was. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, that was kind of my upbringing, and then it just grew from there. I remember I started watching a couple fights live, um, and then I started following boxers on like social media. You know how all that goes, and then it was just as many
Hmm.
fights as I could watch, and then YouTube. Um, and then it really took off a lot more when I moved out to Indiana because I started going to a boxing gym out here, and that's where
Hmm.
it's just
Hmm.
like, dude, I could connect with people. I didn't have too many people other than my friend in Minnesota who knew boxing, so like out here, it like I could vibe and connect with people, and then it just took off from there, man.
You got me thinking that. Is it any what boxes are from Minnesota? It got to be some.
Jason Litzow was probably the more notable one. He fought Roberto Guerrero or
Okay, okay.
Robert Guerrero, Robert the
Robert
Ghost
Guerrero, yeah.
Guerrero. Yep, he got knocked
Hmm.
out. He was really good. He started just getting cocky, and his first loss was to Robert Guerrero. Matt Banda was another one, but he was more so big in Minnesota, and that's kind of, that's kind of it as far as I remember.
Hmm.
Jason Litzau had a younger brother named Alan. They both went to the same high school as me in St. Paul,
Okay.
but
Robert Guerrero, man, he was tough.
he was tough. He was southpaw, lanky.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
was
he
he
was
was tough.
tough.
He was tough. Do you have any like what fights like stuck out to you a lot? Like when you were like, what was one that really stuck with you as like, damn, this is. I guess
Um,
you could say a classic fight, but I'm thinking like one where you like really were just like, yo, I'm jumping all into this. I'm gonna watch every fight coming out.
okay. I think Felix Trinidad, Bernard Hopkins.
Hmm.
I'm gonna tell you what made that fight even more, had a little more a thing around it because they were supposed to, if I'm not mistaken, somebody can correct me too. They were supposed to fight on 9/11, and I think it got pushed back like a day or two or something like that.
It got
So,
pushed to September 29th of that year.
yeah, there you
So
go.
I think you're right that it was supposed to be. Um,
Because New York, I mean, obviously when that happened, a lot of things got pushed back. But man, I mean, Tito was probably like my favorite fighter. I mean, he still is one of my favorite fighters, but like around that time, he was one of my favorite fighters in that time. And then Bernard Hopkins, man, I was
his story is so wild.
Bernard, yeah.
Yeah. Like to the people who don't know out there, um, I'm sure we'll have a mixture of listeners. Some will be, boxing fans, and some will just kind of just be tuning in to check it out. But like, correct me if I'm wrong. So Bernard from Philadelphia
Mhm.
was incarcerated. I don't know what age he was incarcerated at. He was younger, and then I don't remember off the top of my head what he was incarcerated for. I can
It,
pull
it,
that
it
up
was
right
it was
quick.
rob it was robbery.
Was it okay?
Yeah,
So he
robbery. Then
was
and then he got out. I think he got out. He was in his 20s when he got out. Was he in his mid? He got it was. I mean, he kind of. It was pretty late. It was pretty late for a boxer. Yeah, he was in his 20s, I believe, when he got out.
Let's see. So he was involved in a street crime as a teenager, convicted of armed robbery and sentenced to prison. He served 56 months, during which time he took up boxing. So
Mhm.
that's really where he started boxing. And then they had boxing tournaments in prison, and he
In
became like
prison. Yeah,
champion or some shit like that.
yeah. Bernard's tough, man. Bernard's tough. It's unfortunate that those years of I mean, I guess he probably wouldn't have picked it up. Probably. I don't know if he wasn't in prison, but man, to see him, if he would have had those years in his 20s to be in the ring and really been who he was that early of an age, and not be, when he was in his 30s, people respected him still, even being that old. I mean, for what he was doing at that time, at that age, being in his 30s.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, actually, I just watched Bernard versus Oscar.
Mm,
I mean,
that was a good one.
Oscar was still. I think that was probably prime Oscar years though too. I mean,
That was prime Oscar,
that was
yeah.
post Shane Mosley, post Jose Luis Castillo and whatnot. But
Hmm, hmm.
but yeah, Bernard was a problem because he boxed until he was over 50.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it was
I mean,
close to no, not close to 60. Couldn't have
I
been
think
close to
50 because
60.
I think he was the one of the oldest to get a belt or something like that at the age. He kind of made some type of history with that, I believe.
51,
51, yeah.
and he was still competing against some top dogs too.
Yeah, I think
He
was
had
it
Joe.
Kovalev?
He had,
Kovalev did
he had
him pretty bad, I think.
he had Kovalev. He had Joe Calzaghe. Won't never let a white boy beat me.
Oh
Uh,
my gosh. Oh man. Joe Calzaghe. Oh, that was yeah, I like you, Bernard, but was that the one when he got knocked out the ring? Was it that one?
he got knocked out of the ring.
I think it was Calzaghe, I think.
Falling out of the ring was against Joe Smith Jr. in the eighth
Oh,
round,
Joe Smith.
and
Got you. Okay,
that was
okay.
actually his last fight. It says here at 51, he was unable to continue after falling out of the ring. Um,
Joe Smith is tough. He's tough.
Joe Smith was tough, man. That's the thing. If you pull up his record or his career, man, like he's had because of his longevity, of course, but like, dude, his resume speaks for itself. He's one of the greatest boxers of all time.
Yeah, defense, man, real defensively sound. I don't know why. I think Bernard Hopkins, in my opinion, I think he should have got into training. I know he's doing this thing over at Golden Boy, but as much as knowledge as he got with boxing, I think he should have got into. I think he should have opened up his own gym in Philly, and I think he should have trained some boxers out of. I think he could have done it. I think he still can.
Who else is out of Philly?
Oh man,
Danny Garcia is out of Philly, right?
Danny Garcia is out of Philly. You got Tevin Farmer. Uh, Boots is out of Philly.
Boots is out of Philly. Man, what's up for Boots? What's going with him?
Man, he's supposed to be fighting. I don't know this guy. I got to do my research on the guy he's fighting. Um, but guys like him, man, I feel like he should be fighting. I know you want to fight Bud, but man, there's a lot of cats out here you could be fighting, man. Fight at least twice a year, 2 or 3 times a year, man. Because I like him. I like his athleticism. I like him as a talent. But
Hmm.
to me, I still think he has to make his name a name for himself.
Yeah,
People just started hearing about Boots 2 years ago, at three at the most.
I'd say 2 or 3. I heard about him about 2 years ago when I started.
Yeah, but I think he should be fighting a little bit more. He should
Yeah,
get hungry. Even if these aren't opponents you want to fight. Yeah, I know you want to fight Bud. I know you want to fight Earl Spence, but man, if they ain't gonna give it to you, man, stay active at least. You know what I'm saying? Make them come for you, at that point. But I like him though. He's talented. I give him that. He's definitely talented.
Well, he's only 26, so that's another thing. I mean, he
Yeah.
could be. Yeah, he is out of Philly, welterweight. Give him.
Yeah, Philly.
I don't know who you would give him honestly.
I know I mean, at 147, I mean, it's a lot of guys. Let me see
Spence could use a tune-up fight.
oh,
That's a
his
tough.
boots are
That's actually a tough tune-up fight. That's not even.
that's a
That's
tough one.
disrespectful. That's disrespectful. But to your point, though, he doesn't have Boots doesn't have a lot of notable names on his resume that I know
He
of,
doesn't.
and I could be
He doesn't
wrong.
know.
Um,
He fought was it Derenchenko? Oh no, not Derenchenko. It was sorry. Um gosh, was it Derenchenko? It was a dude out of
is it
Ukraine.
Chu? Oh man, I can't say that name. Corinne
Sorry, I'm about to cheat.
Chughadzian.
Nope, it wasn't him. Hold on, I gotta find. Let me see who was this guy he fought. But that's when I seen that.
Was it one of his last fights?
No,
Like,
this was kind of like when he started making a name. Well, when I first got hip to him, this was the fight I seen. Let's see. I know I'm gonna see it. I got his face in my head. I just can't. Limpness, Sergey Limpness. Yeah, yep, that dude.
oh, okay. So I was back. Yeah, it was a couple years ago, actually.
Yeah, that dude can crack, man. Sergey can crack, and I mean, he made him look, dude. He beat him bad.
He beat
So
him
after I seen that
six round
fight,
knockout.
dude, that said a lot. That says a lot. So after I seen that fight, I'm like, oh, this dude, he got something. But if he'd have kept that going with those same type of opponents, tough opponents still, but even though, I mean, people knew who Sergey is. People know who he is.
Yeah, yeah.
He's, the boxing world, I say. The casuals might not know him, but people know who he is. If you watch boxing, you know who Sergey Lipness is.
Mm. I would, I'd like to see some more out of him before he starts getting those bigger names. I mean, that's the thing. Like, there's that tough balance of like the boxing world needs big fights, right? Because if
Mhm.
as far as combat sports, you're competing against like the UFC, which is massive. But I
They
mean,
fight. They fight almost every weekend. It seems like.
they got fights almost every weekend, and majority of the time they're they're like notable fighters on there, man. Like they're marketable people. Um,
Hmm.
and of course, the sport of UFC and the sport of boxing is very different when it comes to, I guess you could say, judging, and there's some corruption. There's corruption on both sides, but I just think like if you want boxing to grow, yes, you want some of those younger, hungry fighters to go,
Hmm.
like when Tank fought Ryan. Um, I think that was big for the sport.
That
And
was big.
then obviously Bud fighting Spence was big for the sport. But those two, I mean, Bud's a little bit older,
Yeah,
because
but Bud's
what
36, I think. 30,
36, I think,
yeah,
yeah.
35, 36, yeah.
Um, but who knows? I mean, I'd like to see the sport continue to grow, but it's also like, to your point, Boots needs a couple more fights to make himself marketable.
Yeah, he does. Fight at least a couple times a year because he's fighting forgot the guy's name he's fighting, but he's fighting him this year and it's like this is the only time you fought this year and it's like, I the guy in the Middle East, Turkey, the guy that's putting on all the boxing matches out there.
Oh, in Saudi Arabia,
Dude,
he's doing something, man. They got that money. They got
he's
that money.
doing it. I like it. They doing a 5-on-5 type thing. Um, oh, that's funny. I want to share this with you.
What are your
Um,
thoughts? I did want to ask you too. Obviously we're both out of indie. Like, what are your thoughts on the local indie boxing scene? Like
um,
I think it's growing pretty well right now. I mean, you got some good young fighters, obviously Yorman, Eastler.
mhm.
Um, I mean, Curtis Hill, like what
Javar.
Jabbar.
Yeah, yeah, yep.
Um, like what are your thoughts on kind of what's going on, and then what potential do you see?
Man, it's growing. It's growing, man. It's growing. I think more people are coming to the Golden Gloves. That's one. Um, having Frank come out of Indy and make it big, that
Mhm.
kind of put an eye on Indy with boxing, I think.
I mean, he's gonna be the
Um,
biggest one that's come out of Indiana. Technically, Detroit, but he came out. I mean, he's from Detroit, but he definitely came out of
yeah,
Indiana as
for
far
sure,
as
for sure, for
his
sure.
fighting
Indiana,
ability.
yeah, definitely, definitely. Him and Layman Brewster made a decent name in the heavyweight division.
Mhm.
But you got to think around that time, even when he was out, it wasn't like a with the internet, it helps a little bit more to claim, you know, okay, he's from out of here and put a little more eyes on it. But Layman Brewster was he made his name in the heavyweight division and he's from Indy. Um, but to your point, the promotion with Sims that he did, I think that was the second. Uh,
He's another one out of Indy. Anthony Sims.
Sims. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Sims. Yep, yep.
yeah.
Sims and him bringing back to the city, putting on fights and stuff. I think that's big. So him making it and coming back and putting on big matches because he put on some good fights that last one. Isler, Yorman, Johnny Morrison.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I like Johnny.
That boy's tough.
Um, he's
That
tough,
boy
bro.
is
He's tough.
tough, man. Because we saw his
He's tough.
last fight, which I mean, unfortunately didn't go his way. But like,
Oh, he showed grit though.
bro, he was
He
taking
showed grit.
shots and he didn't.
He showed grit, man. And
He
that was 6 rounds, right? Was it 6 rounds he
That
fought?
was a 6 round fight. Yeah,
Yeah, man. That
I mean,
was that was that
he was
was.
taking some shots. He kept coming forward. Um, I don't want to say he was, taking easy shots or anything like that. Like hands down moving forward. Like he was taking some tough shots, and
Absolutely.
he had one of the biggest dogs that night for sure.
I agree.
Um,
I agree. I
and
agree.
he's younger too. I mean, him, Javar, they're younger, both out of
Javard,
ATT.
his fight was that was a high level chess match right there, man. I like that. Excuse me. I enjoyed that fight. I want to see them fight again.
I think they should. I mean, it was even to I think a casual fan, like it was still entertaining. I mean,
Oh
you and
yeah,
I
definitely.
have more knowledge of the sport from like the technical side,
Hmm.
and it was definitely a chess match.
Yes,
His opponent was very sharp, very tight, uh,
absolutely.
very athletic and fast. And then I mean, Javar did box very well. Like I don't
Oh,
remember
for
what
sure.
the overall if it was. I think it was 4 rounds. I don't know if it was
Yeah, they
three to
fought
one
four.
or something like that, but
Hmm.
um, he still
I'd
looked
like to see that
crisp.
fight again.
He looked crisp, and it was a good fight too.
Yeah. Yeah, so the local scene, I like it though, man. I like it. Let me not forget her name that put on the promotion. Was it Suzanne? That
Then
put on that fight.
yeah, she's
Um,
out of SRG.
okay, yeah. So with her, kind of stepping out the ring and well, she was in the ring that day too,
Yeah.
and put on a good performance. She fought
Sh-
pretty tough too.
that was another one where it looked as if that was I think 4 rounds.
Hmm.
Um, she didn't look tired at all,
Not
and
at all.
she just kept marching forward, kept chopping them down. And
Yeah.
that was
So
her
that
first, yeah.
that
So that was her pro debut and her first promotion. And
oh, that
honestly,
was her pro debut.
yeah, you could tell that she's been around for a while because the promotion was put together very well.
Legit.
They
It
had
was.
merch. They had a little
Man,
booth set up for interviews after the fight with fighters.
that was tight. That was tight.
Um, they had spot. I mean, it was a really really well done event, and I'm looking forward to the next one. Same with Sims. What is it? Naptown Rumble. Supposed to be one in July, so a couple months or a month and a half.
Yep. Yep.
That's gonna be pretty damn good too. I haven't
Yeah.
heard who's
Yeah.
on the card. I mean, I've talked to somebody and they're trying to get on, but but I don't know who's on. I'm assuming. I mean, it's gonna be some similar fighters from the last card. I mean, when you're a young pro, dude, you're fighting like damn near every month.
Get it in. Get it in. Yeah.
Yeah, unless you're
Get it
Tyson,
in.
like young Tyson, you knock everybody out in the first round, you can fight.
Oh man.
You know?
Exactly. You ain't taking no punishment.
Yeah. You were talking about Saudi Arabia, and I was forgot to ask you. Did you watch the Fury fight?
Oh man. Dude, did I? That was a shocker, bro.
It was a shocker. It
It
was a
was a
shocker.
shocker. I didn't have Usyk, not even close. Originally, I didn't have
Uh-huh.
him close.
Well, even when the fight was first announced, I want to say like, uh, dude, I think it was announced almost 2 years ago because I think there's been so many delays. Um, it was I just didn't see from a technical standpoint, Usyk's very, very well. His movement, his footwork, his power, I think he's a little bit more, but he's also such a smaller heavyweight that his power doesn't really transfer over as far as like knockout power.
Mhm.
Um, he's just so much smaller than Fury. So it's so
I
hard to
think
predict.
that's what got me, man. That's
Yeah.
what got me because the dude, I mean, Fury, you've been hit by the hardest puncher,
Yeah.
and you've been hit by Wilder. Nobody hits harder than Wilder. So to think that Usyk would have knocked him out never crossed my mind. That never crossed my mind. Like he can't beat him, you know. Um,
He's punching up too.
dude, he dominated, man. He took some good shots too. Usyk did. I seen him take a couple shots to the body and kind of kept himself composed, and breathing through his nose through the fight. So, I mean, he was in it, man. He was definitely in it to win it.
Well, it was round 9 where I was confused. Um, because I didn't watch it live. I was at a wedding in Minnesota, but I pulled my phone up. I was sitting with another huge boxing nerd friend of mine, Terrence. He's been on here a couple times, and I pulled it up and I was like, "Bro, check this out." And it was round 9 when he was getting that rock and clip and then back and forth and
Hmm
started
hmm
stumbling.
hmm
I couldn't tell exactly. The ref stepped in, but it wasn't the end of the round. So why'd he step in? It counted as a
Mm.
knockdown, but I don't think Fury's glove touched the mat. I might have missed it though.
I think he did give Fury a count. I think he
Okay,
gave him a count. He gave him a
standing eight.
count.
He gave him a standing 8 count.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
said,
yeah. He was
okay,
getting, but I guess on a high level, on a match of that magnitude, championship on the line, you don't want to stop it that quick. You know what I mean? So I think that's more so what it was, and I mean, because he was giving it to him.
you think there was money in on it?
As far as
I mean, as far as the ref letting Fury get rocked a couple times and stumbling all over the ring, and
no, I think now he had to kind of do that. He had to, because Fury, I mean, he's a champion. Not saying because he's the champion, but when there's so much on the line, you kind of like gotta at least give him a chance. You know what I mean?
you're right. You're right. The magnitude. I mean, their main event. It's Tyson Fury. You're in front of I don't know how many people. This fight has been postponed 3 times now. Like
Yeah, Fury he
that's
got that cut in the eye from sparring. Um,
I think it was
yeah, it's
December is when it was last supposed to happen, or maybe
yeah,
February.
February. I think it's February.
Okay. Right.
So,
He's got a chin, man. Like Fury's got you can say what you want about him, about his looks,
dude, he got a
his
chin,
style.
bro.
He has a chin. He had 3 fights
Interesting
with
fact,
Deontay.
though.
Yeah.
I'll give you an interesting fact. Usyk and Muhammad Ali, same birthday, both Olympic medalists, same weight, same height, same reach. Can you believe that? 6'3", 220 pounds,
Same birthday as my son.
same birthday,
Not a big deal.
January.
Yeah. January 17th, man. So yeah, it's my same birthday as my son.
Yeah, Olympic medalists and undisputed heavyweight champs. Ain't that crazy?
That is crazy. I feel like I just saw something about that recently, but I didn't click on it. That's
Yeah,
I
Usyk.
bet that's what it was. That's what it
It's the
was.
Muhammad Ali factor, right? That's what got him.
Yes, man. It's just
Oh,
like it
we'll
bothers
go with
me.
that.
It bothers me in ways of like I said earlier, the corruption of the sport, you know.
No, big time. Listen, check this out though. So, do you know IBF is trying to strip Usyk of the belt already?
Why?
I don't know. It don't make sense. But that go back to what you just said about it being corrupted. Like, dude, how how can y'all strip him of a belt? Like he just that stuff
Well,
like that. That's the kind of stuff that bothers me with
it,
boxing.
but what's really messes up, truthfully, is all the different organizations like
Too
the
many.
IBF, the WBC, WBO, um,
Ring,
Ring. Like, why do we have like? Don't get me wrong, it looks dope as hell when you
to have all
unify
these
the
belts on
belts
you.
and
Oh,
you got just
for
you're just
sure.
sitting like
Yeah.
this, or you got some like in a way where he's got
Yeah.
like one around his shoulder, one and then just
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah. It looks good.
It's
It looks
it's
good.
it's a statement, but it's it's just so confusing. Like it's
Absolutely.
so confusing when it comes to like who holds the belt here, who unifies. Um, each organization kind of has like a different mindset. I think when it comes to mandatory or a different rule set when it comes to mandatories,
It's too
it's
much,
whack.
man.
It's too much,
Then you
man.
got the WBC interim and silver. It's like, dude,
See,
you get
UFC
some
does
guy up
that. They'll do like
with the belts.
interim belts, but that's more like if like let's say they have much less weight classes. I think
Hmm
they should have a every 10 pound type of thing. So they have like for men's it's 125, 135, 145, 155, 170,
Okay.
185, then 205,
Okay.
and then 225 plus. And like there's a gap obviously between like 185 and 205. I think that's nuts. But they should do a 10 pound everyone. But if the champion, let's say for example, gets injured and he
hmm
can't fight for most of the year, they'll do like a number one contender versus a number two for the interim. Whoever wins that
Okay.
automatic title shot. Um, and it's a
You
little
keep up with
easier.
UFC pretty tough, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. I mean, I'm up to date with that probably. I mean, probably more than boxing as of late, but I mean, I just think they simplified a little bit more, especially with the belts and the weight classes.
hmm
Because boxing weight classes, man, there's like,
Oh man,
my
it
gosh,
goes. It
what's it what?
goes. The lowest, I think, if
What
I'm not
I
mistaken,
know
is
it's like 147, 152, 154, or is it?
well, if you want to go all the way down, I think they got a straw weight. A straw weight. I think they're like 110,
I think so. I think it's something
something
like
like
that.
that. Then you go 120, 122, one after 122, it's not 130, it's another one in between there. Then you got 130, 135, 140, 147, 154, 160, 168, 175. I think you're getting a cruiser weight, right? Like at
Cruisers
180.
cruisers 175 to 190, and then heavies 190 and
Okay.
above, which
Okay,
is
yeah.
insane to me because like you had Deontay Wilder who weighed I think 218 against
Yeah, he was
Fury.
like, yeah.
Fury was two.
Heavy.
I don't remember
Probably like
too heavy.
230 or something, probably. He was heavy, bro. He was
There was
heavy.
one fight I thought he was 260.
Usyk.
Yeah,
He was 260.
I meant against
Oh,
Wilder.
but like, oh, okay. The first fight, I think he was pretty heavy, I think.
Second one I
Cause
think he
his,
blew way up.
yeah, cause his whole thing is, cause Wilder's legs, um, you know, his legs, man, and he could weigh down on those legs.
Yeah,
So,
so in one of them Wilder was 212, Fury was 256.
oh,
That just doesn't.
Dude,
That's just not fair. Even to the casual, to the common eye, to somebody who doesn't follow the sport, you're like, you're telling me this person's to fight somebody who's 60 pounds, 50 pounds heavier than me?
256?
Yeah.
Dude, that's heavy. Can you imagine that leaning on you for 12
Oh,
rounds?
actually, here's for Wilder and Fury 3. Wilder was
Dude,
hang on. Wilder was 238. Fury was 277. And what's wild is he still moves. Fury moves so good for his size, regardless of if he's 300 pounds or 240.
absolutely. We ain't never seen nothing like it, man.
Uh-uh. Uh-uh.
That size and that. I mean, he's doing this the whole fight. He's
He's,
fainting the whole fight and twitching the whole fight, like moving on his feet. He's not sitting there
do you,
trading with you. He's moving, he's jabbing,
do you think
he's
he
a big
cheated the
dude.
second fight like everyone was talking about?
It's questionable when you look at those pictures. When you see how like his glove is turned like this when he punch him,
With the wrist
like how
guard?
does your yeah, like if you got wraps on and
I don't think it's possible. I think it's more like this.
yeah,
Like, because they're making it seem like the wrist of the glove, his fist was in there, and this was flapping around. That's not really possible because you have commissioners watch you wrap up. Like you
yeah,
have judges, like you have people watch you in the locker room. That was one
absolutely.
thing. The tainted water was another thing that Fury was complaining, or not Fury, Wilder was complaining about.
Wow.
Like, it just doesn't make sense, man. I'd say just accept your loss and he
Man, he
just
was going crazy around that time. I mean, he had all kind of accusations, man. Uh, Man, I say so. Look, in my opinion, with that second fight, how I seen him go out the third fight, he really meant what he said when he said, "I want to go out on my shield." Because when you watched him the third fight, which is kind of like one of my favorite fights, just because of how it went. Once Wilder got knocked down in the third round, his legs wasn't the same from. I think Fury finished him in 11. So from round three to round 11, you wobbly and fighting for your life. Like he never gained his composure back. He never got his legs back after the third round. That's a lot, dude.
well. Plus, he dropped. Wilder dropped Fury in. He dropped him once. I know for sure once. He dropped him twice.
Yeah, he so Fury dropped Wilder in the third round, and then Wilder dropped Fury twice in the fourth.
One of those drops. I love the replay because you see the ripple of his back because that. I mean, he's got such an interesting power about him. He looks scrawny, slim, but it's
Dude
just
can hit, man.
that one punch, man, that right hand.
Every time. I wish he done some things different though. I wish he had more of a stiffer jab. I mean, dude, because your arms are so long and you got so much power in them. You could probably knock somebody out with a jab. If you jabbed a little bit more, probably went to the body, which he kind of did do more on the third Fury fight. He did kind of go to the body a little bit more.
Yeah, he did do better. Do you remember his knockout against Dominic Brazil, the first
Oh
round? That
God.
was the one where the sweat popped off
Oh,
his head. First round,
yeah,
first
yeah,
round shot,
yeah. That was nasty.
and that power carries over all the way to the 12th round.
Yep, he does, bro. We'll see. Hopefully we see the old Wilder back when he's fight this I can't pronounce his name, but the Asian guy.
Zaylee, I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah. Hopefully he we see the old Wilder. So I've been seeing him in some of his training videos, running on the track and so which he's never ran before in none of his camps. He said he never done. I know.
Feel like he should. I mean, that's one of the most
Definitely.
classic boxing workouts is road
Yeah.
work. You're running.
Road work. Absolutely. Yeah.
Um, no, I was wondering if you thought he cheated because I was thinking of that fight with that one fighter many years ago, Antonio Margarito.
Oh man, yeah.
So
Ooh,
for
we
for for those who don't know, um, you before your fight, you're getting gauze, tape, you're getting wrapped up, and I don't I don't remember the fight he got officially busted. I think it was against Shane Mosley or Manny Pacquiao. Um,
think Shane Mosley.
so this boxer out of Mexico named Antonio Margarito, he fought Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto was undefeated at the time. Miguel Cotto is one of my favorite fighters because he's just so crisp.
Like Cotto.
And he was getting um Cotto was just getting pieced up. His shots just it's like if you were playing a video game and the health bars were here, like one shot of Cotto would go down a little bit and one shot of Margarito would go down by like 2 or 3 points.
Right.
So they noticed um there's a famous picture after he won where the gauze has a crack in it, right where the knuckle is. So it's like, well, that
Hmm.
gauze doesn't really break like that. It might tear or something like that, but it's
Hmm.
broken. So he had a what was it like a chemical, some type of
Some
something
kind
that
of plaster or something like that. Some
it
type of
made
plaster
his
he had
yeah,
on there.
and it made his wraps essentially like
Harder.
drywall.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, if you imagine getting punched by
Dude,
a
Cotto
piece of
was busted
sheetrock or
up.
something, Cotto was busted up. And the problem with that was his first loss. So he lost to someone
Did
by
they ever
by
call
by
that a
them.
no contest? Or no, did they?
I don't remember, but the issue with it is like he didn't know he was cheating at the time. So
Hmm.
it's like, hey, I'm undefeated. I just got knocked out.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
so after that, like that's gonna mess with your brain. And from there, gosh, man, Cotto ended up fighting like Manny Pacquiao. He fought Floyd. When he fought Floyd, though, he looked good. I thought he looked pretty
Dude,
good
that
against
was a
Floyd.
good fight. That was one of my favorite Cotto and one of my favorite Floyd fights because around that time, Floyd, they were saying, "Oh, what you gonna do? Run around the ring?" Man, Floyd, can I cuss on here?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, I don't care.
Okay. They was talking about Floyd gonna be running this shit. Like Floyd stood in there, hands up. He stood in there, hands up, and he stood in there toe to toe with Cotto, man. And dude, he pieced Cotto up. So for the people that think Floyd run around the ring all the damn time, he stood in there and fought.
And
He
for the
stood in there and fought.
people who don't know, I mean, not to sidetrack too much, um, Floyd was a completely different fighter before he changed his name to Money Mayweather. Back when
Absolutely.
when he signed with Showtime, that's pretty much when he changed his name to Money Mayweather, where it was I'm looking for the longevity. My hands are
Mm-hmm.
busted up because I'm,
Mm-hmm.
having so many
Mm-hmm.
fights. I'm going to do more defensive counter punching, which is still very impressive. It might not be as entertaining, but look up his fight. I mean, one of my favorite fights I'll always watch is him versus Arturo Gatti. Look up Arturo Gatti.
Oh man,
Look up
yes.
when he fought Diego Corrales, which
Mm-hmm.
there's an argument out there where they were talking about like oh, gosh, I forgot who it was now. It might have been Skip Bayless. And he said something like Skip Bayless is a huge Manny Pacquiao guy, and he's like at the best better resume. Like who's to say Floyd fought better, competition? Like he fought everyone when they were older.
Mm-hmm.
Bitch, he fought Diego Corrales when Diego Corrales was undefeated. He knocked him down
Yep.
5 times. Like
Yep. Yep.
that's
Yep.
that's one of
Absolutely.
his best performances. That there was a questionable one with Jose Luis Castillo, which statistically it looks like Floyd lost, but that is
Right.
what it
Right.
is.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
but Floyd can do whatever he wants, man. He can run and not run and counterpunch, but he can move and slick out side to side.
For
He
sure.
could stand
Definitely.
toe to toe with you with his defense, and he proved it. He for sure proved it against Cotto, and he definitely proved it against Shane Mosley when he got rocked.
And those cats, I mean, with the Pacquiao fight, I mean, Floyd is older than Pacquiao, I believe. I think he's older than, but them running with, oh, he waited till Pacquiao got older. Like Floyd's older than Manny Pacquiao, I believe.
Yeah, and Manny
Um,
and Manny fought Oscar when he was older. So like
yeah, yeah,
all that
yeah, yeah.
and the classic argument of like, um, oh, but Floyd ain't never fight nobody unless he fights this person at this weight. Like, okay, well, Well, Manny does the same thing. Like Manny drained Oscar De La Hoya to come to his weight. Floyd went to Oscar's weight, and Floyd was
Yeah,
A side. Like it's always a he's always got the
that's
world
when
against him, you know.
that's definitely when Money Mayweather came in after that De La
Mm-hmm.
Hoya fight.
Mm.
That De La Hoya, that fight was big payday for him, and that turned his career up. That was 2007, I think. 2007.
Um, yeah, it was
Yeah, I think,
2007. I'm trying to think when Ricky Hatton must have been after that because I know they
yeah,
might have been like back to back.
yeah.
I'll pull that
Hmm.
up real quick because I was just looking up Oscar's record. Floyd. So Floyd and this is a huge Wikipedia. Floyd. All these lawsuits. Floyd. Okay,
That's
so
what came up.
well, I pull up his Wikipedia for his record. Okay, so 2007 May 5th. That's right. Cinco de Mayo. He fought Oscar. Um, and then right after that, he fought Ricky Hatton. And then he took that was his first retirement.
Retirement, yeah.
Came back, fought Marquez, Mosley, Victor Ortiz. This is when he went on a little bit of a tear. Um,
Oh man, he went crazy.
fought Canelo, and then I think okay, he was 37 when he fought Maradona. Maradona
Oh,
was a tough fight. Damn, these were all tough
dude.
fights, brother.
Yeah, Maidana. Man, I wish he didn't retire so early.
These are all. I mean, he's got say what you want about him picking people, but he knocked out Ricky Hatton when Ricky was undefeated.
Hmm.
And then right after that, Ricky fought Manny and he got knocked out. But you can use that argument of someone said, well, Manny knocked him out and sooner than Floyd did.
Right.
Okay, well, but like Hatton was undefeated, knocked him out. It's a totally different type of fighter. After you get knocked out,
Hmm.
you probably got a little more like skittish, right?
Hmm.
Um, but this resume, man. I mean, yeah. See, he was 20. Oh my gosh, he was 23 when he fought Diego Corrales.
Oh yeah, he was young,
And
man.
then he fought Jose Luis Castillo twice.
Oh, okay. So you know what?
And
Because
then
I at
DeMarcus
first,
Corley.
yeah, chop chop
My
chop chop
God.
Corley.
Is that where he got knocked down because he broke his hand?
Against chop chop. Uh,
It was against him or it was against
no,
Brussels.
Zabby did touch the mat.
Yeah, but they didn't count it as a knockdown.
Oh, okay. You talking about when they did count it? Did
They
they ever?
they I think it was against Brussels when he broke his hand, so he had to like take a knee. That's the only time he's been knocked down.
Hmm.
It was either him
Okay.
or it was
And they counted it as a knockdown?
yeah, because he stepped back. He
Really?
took a knee for it because his hand was broke.
Okay, okay, okay. I'm gonna have to look that one up
If
then.
if I remember correctly, but
I was gonna say I thought he okay, okay, okay. I gotta look that one up. You might got one on me. I'm gonna check that one out.
but yeah, shit. Then he had Gotti. That fight was. I remember watching that when it was on. Actually,
Dude, that was brutal. You seen him let his hands go against well, you seen him dominate somebody that's used to going standing in the middle of the ring and throwing blows, like a brawler pretty much.
that's Gotti's style.
Yeah. And so for Floyd to take him on and do him the way he did him, I mean, dude, that was brutal.
You think he's a
I
goat?
liked it that fight. Gotti?
Oh, Floyd.
Yeah, he's definitely up there. I'm gonna put him as
How about this Mount Rushmore? What's your Mount Rushmore? What's your four? They don't have to be in like one, two, three, four. Who's
order
the four greatest?
or besides me. No. No, I gotta put Floyd up there. I gotta put Muhammad. Um, Muhammad Ali is just my favorite person and favorite fighter.
Yeah,
Um, Obviously I wasn't around with Sugar Ray Robinson, but I went back and watched some of his fights.
I'd like to watch
He
more of
was
his. I mean, he's listed as one of the greatest too, so I'd like to watch a lot more of his.
yeah, Sugar Ray Robinson. Um, Man, I want to give somebody from the new era some love. But it's not over yet. I like to see how Canelo's career pan out. I like Sugar Ray Leonard too, man.
Sugar Ray Leonard's legit. It's a
I like
tough
Sugar
one.
Ray Leonard. Yeah, yeah, I like Sugar Ray Leonard too. But I'd be curious to see if Canelo fight. He don't need. I mean, he could retire now, honestly.
He probably should. I mean, there was a couple times, honestly, where I forgot Canelo was even fighting. Like there was a couple. No disrespect to those fighters, but I feel like it was just, oh, he's fighting.
For sure, for sure.
So, someone I was like, I don't even know who that is.
Yeah,
Um,
like dude, he fought in Mexico before. What's the dude name? Because Jaime Munguia fought him too. Jaime Munguia fought him, and then Canelo. Well, Canelo fought him first, but Jaime Munguia knocked him out.
well, it's like
Um,
Canelo. I mean, he. So I would say my Mount Rushmore would be Floyd.
okay,
Um, I want to put. I mean, if we're thinking inside and outside the ring, Ali over Tyson. Tyson outside of the ring, I don't think has like a very good track record. If you guys want to
right,
look
right,
him up, look him up.
right, right, right.
So that's a toss up. Um, I'd say Roy Jones is definitely
Okay.
up there, and then I mean you Julio Cesar Chavez like
Yeah, for
is
sure,
somebody up
for
there
sure, for
too,
sure.
but like it's just hard. I mean, I think it's one of those classic questions where like if you ask me 5 minutes, I'm gonna have maybe the
Yeah,
same
exactly,
two
exactly.
of those four are gonna be
Hmm.
um, here.
What's Chavez record? What's his record? I know it's some crazy.
I actually just had that up because he technically had I think the longest Julio Cesar Chavez. Here we go. His record is 107-6. Um, my gosh, his first loss, he's okay. He turned pro in 1980. He didn't lose a fight for 14 years. He had a
14?
he had a draw with Pernell Whitaker. He was 87-0-1 with that draw. 87-0-1.
Wow.
And then after Pernell
Dude.
Whitaker, who's one of the best defensive fighters, he ended up had a couple fights, lost to Frankie Randall. And then I mean, as far as notable people go, Oscar De La Hoya, he fought him twice. Um, Costa Zoo, and
That's a zoo.
that's kind of kind of ventures out to some people that I honestly haven't heard of. But I mean, he's up there as far as a Mount Rushmore. And I think Canelo, depending on you know what happens to his career, he could retire. He should
Okay.
retire. He should fight. I mean, maybe do like one more legacy fight Benavidez, and I call it.
Yes,
He
that'd be
doesn't
perfect.
he doesn't
Listen,
need to be fighting anymore. Like he's not that old, but also he's got like damn near 60 fights.
yeah. If he fight Benavidez, I think that would be a good way to like, all right, I'm out of here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because that's gonna be a classic fight already. I mean, yeah.
Um, I did have to ask you that I texted you before, and I was looking up a couple things. And I was thinking of when I asked you about cheating and whatnot. It got me thinking about robberies. Um, so one of the main robberies that comes to mind, because like I said, this sport is so corrupt, is Manny Pacquiao versus Timothy Bradley, the first fight. I am not a Timothy Bradley
Mm,
fan any way, shape, or
mm,
form. Like I think
mm.
he's a tough boxer. Um, and I think this goes for maybe it's just most athletes. Respectfully, obviously, he's laced them up more than I have, so I can't really speak too much
Mhm.
about that. But it's one of those things where, like, look, just admit Just admit you
Just
lost.
admit it.
Just admit you
Just
lost, man.
admit it.
Like I remember I was watching the fight and then on Twitter at the time I was on the round by round of like what
Mm,
like Dan Raphael or Luke
mm,
Thomas were saying,
mm,
all these analysts I follow. And it was just like final bell rings, go to the judges' scorecards, and then it was just robbery, 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 robbery. They gave it to Bradley.
mm,
So
mm,
I pulled
mm,
up the stats again because I remember I looked at them. Manny outstruck him and outthrew him actually.
mm.
But they somehow gave it to Bradley.
Bradley.
I don't know how they do that shit. And it's the same thing, man. Like I like Ruslan Provodnikov. He's this Russian. I think he calls himself the Russian Rocky. He fought
Okay.
he fought Timothy Bradley, and it was the same thing. Like Bradley got knocked down. Um, and I don't remember the stats off the top of my head. I can pull those up real quick. But it was like, dude, like Timothy, you clearly lost. Like, don't sit
Yeah.
here. Don't start
Don't do
running
it.
your mouth talking shit.
Let's not do this, Timothy. Let's not do this, Timothy.
I just not a fan of that stuff. Really not.
Yeah,
Um,
some of his comments and some of his stuff he's been saying, I don't agree. I don't agree with a lot of stuff he say either.
Here it is. 10 years ago today, Bradley versus Ruslan Provodnikov. War. It was a war fight. It was a really good fight. But yeah, they somehow gave it to Bradley. I don't know, man. It just
Mm.
bothers me. Like, do you have any robberies you can think of off the top of your head?
Off the top of my head, man, there's been quite a few. Off the top of my head,
Or even one
uh,
where you're like, how the hell did Judge score it that way?
dude,
Like
Lamont Peterson.
how is this a split decision? How about that? That's a better question. Tell
Yeah,
me how that's a split decision.
Lamont Lamont Peterson and Danny Garcia. Lamont Peterson first is definitely he one of my favorite fighters. One of my favorite. Um, I always watched his conditioning, strengthening conditioning videos he posts on Instagram. I watched, some of his epilogue stuff on YouTube, when he's building up for a fight. And I just always admire his him being in fit. So anyway, one of my favorite fighters too. When he fought Danny Garcia, I didn't because that fight right there was about to take him to the next level. And yeah, they gave it to Danny, so I didn't like that. Wasn't a fan of that fight. Wasn't a fan of that decision, I'll say.
It's one of those things too, like where if if the boxing world or the WBC or whatever see more
Mm,
potential, like let's say Lamont was older than Danny, you know what I
hmm
mean? Which he was. So
hmm
it's
hmm
like, all right, do we give the belt to Lamont and he's probably
Right,
gonna
right.
lose at his next fight, or do we
Hmm
have it stay with Danny for a little more longevity to kind of just build him up and make
Exactly.
more
Yeah.
money off of him?
Hmm
That happens, man, and it's just shitty, dude. Like, do what's fair, you know?
Let me ask you a question. Fantasy fight. You got a fantasy fight?
Yeah. Um, it would be Floyd versus Sugar Ray Leonard, I think would be a good one.
Mm.
Canelo versus I don't think Roberto Duran was in the same weight class as Canelo. I have to research that one now.
Well, if you'd have got the Canelo at when he fought
I mean,
Floyd, I think he
at
was
some point when he fought Floyd,
yeah,
he came down to 154.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
uh,
154? Was it 154 or 147?
I
Might
don't
have
know
been
if he got.
154.
I don't know if he got him that low.
It
That's a
might,
good
well, you gotta
question,
think
man.
Canelo it might have been 147, I think. Because he fought Cotto. I think he fought Cotto at 154. Um,
He fought. All right, let's do it this way. So when he fought Canelo, it was for super light middleweight. So light middleweight, or
so what
super
is
light
that
middleweight.
147 then? Super light middleweight. That's yeah, probably 147 then.
Super light middleweight. Uh, But I mean, that would be so.
Yeah,
That would definitely be one that I would like. I'd like to see Canelo versus.
interesting.
I mean, I like Roberto Duran. I like
I
his
do too.
style. Um, and then probably I'd like to see. I mean, you could always say Tyson versus Ali. I'd like to see
Mm-hmm.
that. Like if you throw somebody way back in the day, with someone like Ali, or some Ali with someone like, you know,
Hmm.
current.
I like to see Tyson Fury and Muhammad Ali.
That'd be fun. They're both big.
I, yeah, I'd like to see that. But again, now we got Tyson Fury against Usyk again. Remember, same height, same reach.
That's the same thing. Good point.
The same thing.
Good point, man.
But obviously, Ali moved a little bit more and, but still, like, as far as tail of the tape, they got the
Mhm.
same everything. That's crazy, man. Um, I think mine's would be Lomachenko and Manny Pacquiao.
I mean,
Both of them real shifty footwork,
Manny's talking about
southpaw.
coming back, so hey, you could do that.
I'd love to see that fight, man. That would have
I,
been definitely one of mine.
I think it'd be interesting too because Manny is always known for his output,
Yep, yep.
his speed, his power. I think his power just came from momentum of his output. It wasn't like,
Huh?
like you know, um,
Dude, his calves are this big. Like, I mean, yeah,
running on those hills, man. So if you do Manny versus Loma could. mm, I mean, boxing IQ, Loma's got that. Footwork, Loma's
yeah,
got that.
yeah. That's why I say both of them punch at different angles. Manny could be right here 1 second, then he could be over here. I mean, I think that'd have been a good one. That'd have been
That'd
a good
been
one.
that'd been a good one.
Yeah.
But there is a big fight coming up that I have to ask you about. Frank versus Tank.
Don't do this to me.
Here's the thing. Look, this is without a doubt the biggest fight that any boxer out of Indiana has had. No offense to
Absolutely.
I mean Layman Brewster,
No,
but
you're right. You're right.
Layman Brewster fought one of my favorite heavyweights.
Klitschko.
Yeah, Klitschko twice. That's a big
Yeah,
fight.
yeah, 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 yeah. That was a good one. Yeah. Yeah, that was a good one. I think more eyes in the city would be on the fight with Frank. Well, because you got to think, Frank been in the gym with some of the same people we know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know nobody else in the same gym with Layman Brewster. When you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay, yeah, I see.
As far as being reachable, like if you know, being closer to that person and being accessible in a sense. Um, so yeah, I think that's what makes us really want to tune in more because of the I mean he's there. I mean, you go in the gym, you see his pictures all over the gym. So, you kind of see that and seeing where he's at now, I think that makes a big impact.
Yeah. I mean it's gonna be I mean, if you ask anybody at IBG, they're going with Frank, and rightfully so. You got to
Oh yeah,
roll. You
yeah.
got to roll with who
The home
they're
team. Yeah, I
loyalty,
get it.
right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
it's it's a tough ass fight.
It's
Tank
tough, bro. It's tough. It's tough.
Tank is so dangerous.
It's tough. It's gonna be a tough one, man.
Both
I want to see a
both
good fight, man.
both southpaws, um, both
Yeah.
good speed, both good power. Frank is bigger.
Frank is bigger and Frank
Frank
has more
mixes his
volume.
punches up more volume. He mixes
More
punches up
volume.
more.
Yeah, more
Yeah,
volume.
yeah.
Yeah. That's gonna be the factor, I think, in the fight. You got I mean, obviously he hits hard, but I mean, come on, we know Tank is known for that. So I think volume versus power in a sense.
I mean, it goes
That's
on.
gonna be a
So
good one.
June 15th. So we are, you know, about 3 weeks away
Tuned in.
from that one. Um,
We gotta find somewhere. We gotta find somewhere to watch the fight. I should. I don't know, have some at the house maybe. Invite some people over and
I was talking to Yorman about it. Um, I know he's driving up from. He lives like an hour south of the gym, but he's down to watch it together for sure. Um, I mean, he's rolling with Frank. I asked him.
for
He's
sure,
like,
for
dude,
sure.
I've sparred with Frank so much, blah blah blah. You know, like I've been around him, and
Yeah,
I think it's a closer fight than some people are probably predicting. Like if you read
I think
social
so.
media, a lot of people are saying shit like, "Man, who is this? No one knows who Frank Martin is." Like, oh, you're about to find
Yeah.
out. You know?
And I like that too. I like
Yeah.
that. That's what makes boxing when you hear that, and then the guy comes. I mean, they just did the same thing with Fury and Usyk. Like the casual boxer didn't know who Usyk was, and he came in there and beat Tyson Fury, and they only know Tyson Fury because of him in the Wilder trilogy.
Mhm.
That's when the eyes kind of got on him. But even with that undercard, man, Benavidez is on the undercard too. Tank and Frank.
He is. He is. That's gonna be a good
So
one.
I think if he this is it'll be kind of like one of the things I felt like Shakur could have done to get a big fight. It's like you got to show out for this fight right here. This one right here, you got to show out to get that big fight. You know, when Shakur fought Santos and didn't really perform like he should have, that kind of messed him up for whatever, a bigger fight. So Benavidez, if he show out for this fight, and obviously I'm pretty sure he's gonna call Canelo out after the fight. I think it'll make it. He has a better chance of getting it.
Why do you think Canelo's not fighting him?
I think it's a money grab.
Yeah.
Money grab, yeah. I think it's a money grab.
I sent you that rumored 5-on-5 America versus Mexico card.
Oh,
So on that, if this is true, this is gonna be a hell of a card. So it's Canelo versus Bud, Terrence Crawford. Um,
amazing,
and then you got Caleb Plant versus Munguia, which is another good
amazing,
fight. And then
amazing. Yeah.
Shakur is supposed to be in there.
Oh, with Pitbull, right? With
I,
Shakur and Pitbull, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
I think Pitbull would take that one. I think Pitbull is
He
like
can.
one of the most like dangerous.
Oh,
I'd like to see Pitbull fight Ryan Garcia, shut him up.
that
Um,
dude cracks. That dude
he
can crack.
cracks. He cracks.
Yeah. That would be oh yeah, I think Cool Boy Steph was on that card too.
Okay.
Stephen Fulton. If that happened. Stephen Fulton and I forgot the guy um that he would have been fighting, but that'd be nice, man. That 5-on-5, that'd be nice.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
worth. I
I
mean,
like
that
to
would
see
be
that.
worth the card. Like, what a pay-per-view cards are what, like $80, $90 in them?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That the Saudi guy, he could probably make most of those fights happen except for Canelo. He said they offered him some crazy money to fight Crawford, and he said no.
heard about
I'm
that.
like, dude, like, yeah, but I think he could make those other ones happen though.
Yeah, yeah.
Those would be easy to make, yeah. That'd be a big card.
Well,
Man, we've been that went back quick, man.
yeah, we've been at it for a little over an hour, man. I think that's good. That's good.
That,
I think we could have. I mean, I'd like to have you back on quite a few more times. Every time a fight comes up, we could dissect it, break it down.
yeah, I'm with that.
I'd like to even jump on like a group, like you and him.
Okay.
Um, or you do a bar. I'd like to connect with Javon a little bit more. Um,
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
I think it'd be cool every time you can do like a fight team and have a thing we break down like a fight live, you know, um, or we watch a classic fight together or something. I think that'd be kind of a
Yeah.
cool addition.
We could do Yeah, we could do that. We could do that. Maybe say like the week a fight isn't on, maybe we could do like a classic fight.
Classic fight.
And then, like on the dead week when there's nothing going on, we could do that to kind of keep it, if we want to do that and kind of keep it going. And then we'll just do outside of that, when there's other fights, we'll just talk about the current fights. I think that'd be dope.
Okay. I'm gonna close this out with a question off of boxing. So you are more of a social butterfly, an adventurous
Yeah.
person, let's say.
Huh?
Where is three of the best restaurants to go in Indy?
Um, Chiba.
What's Chiba?
Chiba is it's like an Asian with a kind of New Orleans kind of twist to it. It's in Noblesville.
So Cajun or Creole? Let's see.
Creole.
I love
Yep.
that. I love that.
Kind of like a Japanese kind of Creole type thing. It's pretty good.
What's it called?
Chiba, Chiba.
Chiba. Oh, here it is. Chiba.
That's funny. You came out of nowhere with that one. I was ready. I was ready.
Oh,
It looked good, right?
world class sushi. Who's got the best sushi
Yeah.
in here? Who's got the best sushi in town?
Um. So, is it so? I was right on Keystone on is it
Oh, you talk about
Sephora?
Sakura.
Secure, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
I've heard
I
all
think they
good
got
things
some of the
about that
best.
place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they got some of the best. I
Super
like
small
them, and I
parking lot.
also absolutely that's the small ones, the smaller. Well, let me not say the smaller the better.
Yeah, don't say that.
But yeah, the
Hey, if
time we
it
living
works,
in.
man. It works, okay? Okay, so you got Chiba as a top restaurant. What else you got?
Um, let's see. I'm gonna take you to I like Oakmont's brunch. I like Oakmont's food. Don't get it twisted. I like their food,
Okay.
but I mostly go there like kind of like during brunch time. Um, kind of they food and they drinks are pretty good. I like Oakmont.
They're newer too. I think they opened up like a couple years ago.
Yeah, a couple years. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So yeah, and it's local too, So, shout out a um, good local restaurant. Let me see.
Have you been to Bodie?
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna throw Bodie in there too.
No Bodie in
Yeah,
there?
I'm gonna throw
Okay.
Bodie. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna throw Bodie. Bodie's good.
Bodie's good. I've heard I haven't been there yet, but I know it's like I love Thai food. I love traditional Thai food. Um,
I'm surprised you haven't. I mean, you kind of right there. I'm surprised you ain't been there yet.
yeah, because I'm with me bartending down there. I get a lot of people like if they're waiting for a table at Bodie, they'll come into the garage, like and just have like a drink or something.
Hmm.
Um, I heard their beer garden's pretty nice too, or just their
Yeah.
garden seat, outdoor patio seating.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
damn, I should go there soon. I should go
You
there
should.
soon. Get inspired.
It is kind of,
I'm growing some Thai basil in my garden, so I could do like some curry or some type of like rice dish or something like that.
dude. You be cooking.
Yeah,
You be cooking.
try
You
to.
keep that grill. You keep that grill popping.
Well, like I talked to Yorman about it, and I was like, "Hey, man, I cook all the time. I need to find meals that because my goal is to drop to a certain weight by the end of summer." Um, and he's like, "Man, just intermittent fast. Maybe mix in like sub this snack out for Greek yogurt, and that's all I've been doing. I've just been eating Greek yogurt with like fruit. I've been eating raw
Really,
veggies. Yeah,
it's tough.
it's tough, man. Especially it's summertime, and especially like I love food and I love cooking, so it's like you know."
Yeah, it's tough, man. Like you said, the summertime. I mean, you definitely. I mean, do you grill in the wintertime too?
I do. I mean, I have a griddle and I got a smoker. I don't have a grill yet.
Okay.
Um, but I mean, I'll smoke. It doesn't really get too cold here in the winter, so like I can grill stuff. It doesn't
Yeah.
get as cold.
You from Minnesota, that's why.
That is why, yeah.
You got that that Viking blood.
Got
It's cold.
the strong cold bones, baby. Um,
Yeah,
damn, I got Bodie pictures pulled up here. I gotta go to Bodie. I should go to
yeah,
Bodie.
man. You got you got a schedule this week? What you got going?
I'm bartending this weekend, and then we got the race
A
Sunday.
race,
Yeah,
yeah,
are you
yeah,
going to the
yeah.
race?
Man, I thought about it. Probably not. I usually go. I do go every year though. I go every year, but I'm probably not gonna go this year. I just don't feel like it this year. I think I'm gonna just chill, man.
Yeah,
I might pop down there if you go be working this weekend. I might pop down there.
I'm there. I'm there Saturday morning, and then Sunday, we're going to some friend's house. We're doing a little cookout, and then Monday we got the gym. Um, and then
That's gonna be funny.
Yeah, it's gonna be funny. Like the day after day after
Right.
all that, the day after the race. I mean, last year it was a good turnout. I remember going and it was who showed up? Patrick showed up, Damien showed up. It was a good crowd, and they were just talking about how the race was, snake pit, all that stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'll be there. And then I'm going Tuesday night. I was just talking to Yorman before we recorded. Um, he's gonna be down there at 6.
Okay.
So I'll probably go for a run that morning.
Hmm.
And then can I just chill? And then
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
be down there. I don't know if I'll be down there Wednesday. My mom's coming into town, so just my schedule right now is just kind of enjoying some
Hmm.
time before I have to go back to work.
Yeah, man, as you should, as you should. Yeah, I know it's gonna be busy because of race weekend, but I might pop down and I'm gonna kind of probably be a homebody for the most part. And yeah, so I don't have, carb day is Saturday.
Is that what it is?
Um,
I don't do the race weekend festivities. I've been to the race
yeah.
once.
Yeah, no, man, I've been going every year probably since 2012, 13 maybe. I've been going every year. I might have missed one or two here and there, but for the most part, I've been going every year. Um, so now I think I might just chill. We'll see, we'll see.
Yeah, eat and drink over the weekend. That's pretty much all Indy 500 is, man. Like that is if people go down there, they camp. One of my best friends years ago, before he and his wife had kids, it was like we go down race weekend Friday, pop our tent up, we have our grill and smoker, wake up at like 4 a.m., throw a brisket on there by like
Yep.
1 p.m. or
Yep.
whatever. It's like, yo, it's time to eat. And you just eat and drink
Uh-huh.
beer
Uh-huh.
all day in the
Yeah.
sun all day. And you just take a
Yeah.
nap.
That
It's
is at the track.
it's pretty nice. Yeah, I mean, people are down there like camping at the track. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So,
Yeah, we usually leave out about 5 in the morning.
damn.
Start drinking beers while in traffic and get on turn. I know it's wild, man. It's wild. We start drinking. We set up like on turn 3,
Okay.
and we there till about 6 o'clock.
It's a
Then check this
long
out.
day, brother.
Now hold on, then check this out. Then we go to another bar after that and eat.
Well, you got to eat. You got to consume something to soak up all the alcohol. You know where you got to go? One of my best places. I tell everybody, Fat Dance.
No, seriously, that's what we go to.
Yeah, Fat
Yep,
Dance is good
the
because
one that
it'll absorb like their
yep,
wings, their Italian sandwich.
Bar Ripple.
Uh,
We go to the one at Bar Ripple.
that's the original one. Yeah, I used to live right there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Damn, man, I'm hungry, but I can't eat.
Yeah.
Can't eat. It's too late. All
All
right.
right.
Well, look,
Man, I
man.
appreciate
Yeah,
you having me on, man.
yeah. Come back on a couple more times, man, or however many times as you want, and then I'll see you. I'll see you at the gym. I'll post this. We'll get your social media. What's your social media again?
Famous baby.
Famous baby.
Yeah, man, we'll do it again, man. This is my first time being on you know, doing this. So second time, we're gonna spice it up though.
We'll spice it up. Spice
For
it up.
sure, for sure.
All right, man. I
All right, my
appreciate you.
man. Thank you.